Hello, hello. Before I get started, I'm going to do my usual, my audio check, and then we're going to jump into some TA on a couple of the things that the chart were indicating for like the last week, and that they pretty much did come true. And then I'll take some questions, what everybody has, and I will wrap things up. So if that sounds good. Can you hear me in the chat? So as soon as I get confirmation, I'll get started. Make sure I'm not speaking to myself. And then we will get right to it. Okay, perfect. Sorry, there's a little delay on my side. So if you can't hear me, it may. Okay, they're all coming in. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's look at Doge first, and then we're going to look at the market indicator pretty much. So if you follow my videos, you know that I said based off of the charts, at best we'd come up and test this this bridge we have here for a third line, but more than likely until we get some concrete information from the Fed, we're probably going to trend sideways, and that's pretty much just due to uncertainty. People that are in the position, long-term holders, they're uncertain if we're going to get a breakdown, so they're like, okay, well, we're going to wait before we invest, so because we may have the opportunity to get a better price. And short sellers, they're going to pretty much people that want like Dogecoin to die or whatever, they're pretty much saying that, okay, well, we're going to wait, save our ammo and our money just in case they do get a rally, since there's not that much buying activity. So that pretty much means we just, volume wise and everything, will pretty much just hold the line and start this sideways trajectory, which is completely okay. Doge is known for if that's one thing that Doge can do, is that's hold the line. So this is perfectly in line with what I thought was going to happen, what we talked about over a week ago. And again, until we get that, until we break out of this this window here, at best we come up and do a third test on this line. And if we went above it, of course, we'd break it and start a new trend. And more than likely that would have to happen because of like a catalyst or something. I don't believe like a whale or a big buy would come in now with so much uncertainty in the market. So we are right on schedule for what we thought Dogecoin was going to do. Now we're going to look at the market indicator, which is Bitcoin. And you will see that we are also right on schedule for what we thought it was going to do. So about a week ago, I said that historically, that's these lines that have circled the bottoms. But I said that usually we come up, and once we trend below, we'll come up and we'll kiss that 21-day moving average. And it looks like, well, it's not even looks like, we're definitely in a pattern of lower highs. So we are trending upward. So we got the breakup like I thought. We got the rejection here, and we're coming up to that 21-day moving average. Now, the longer catalysts that are pushing the market down, that cloud, that gray area that's over the market, none of that has changed. We are not entering into a new trend or an upward trajectory until we're between like 42 and 44,000. So we're going to get many of these rallies over the next few months, but that does not mean that the trajectory has changed. So don't be fooled by that. You'll see a lot of things like a bull trap and all that kind of stuff like that. And that may very well be the case, but you have to just keep in mind that, again, we have, there's a couple of things that's coming up for the market to get a bump. I anticipated that we'd get a bump from people that did tax loss harvesting toward the end of December, and the wash rule, 30-day rule, they couldn't re-enter the position. So I expected us to get one around the end of the month. And of course, we have tax returns, child tax credit, all this is pretty much this little stimulus package that we're going to get here in the next 30 days, which could result in a bump in the market. Long term, not going to change anything. Just don't mistake that for a rally or a turnaround, because I know a lot of information can be pushed out that can pretty much make it seem like that's the case. But until we're in 42, 44,000 above this range here, and pretty much come up and retest that last bridge we have, we can't even consider this a change in trend. So we can expect a sideways or downward trajectory on the crypto market as a whole. And again, we have 3 points of contact so far, and going really within the next day, we're going to have our fourth on this 21-day moving average. And again, you see the trend. So basically within the next day or so, 48 hours, 48, 72 hours, we should, if we do rally above it, that's fine. We've done it a couple times here, but it's just barely. We peak above the 21-day moving average, and then we start our descent. So nothing abnormal there. So for Dogecoin, for Bitcoin, we are absolutely on track for what we thought was going to happen. So nothing has happened that has, caught us by surprise. So we are still on track to pretty much have this consolidation until we get a catalyst, positive or negative, to give us the momentum for it to break either way. So I'm excited about this. I still believe that we can have great entries if we do, if we play our cards right. So, and if you watch any of my videos as far as DCA, averaging down, getting into these positions, you'll know that this is the time that you want to be stacking your fiat so that you can take advantage of these prices and probably the even better ones to come. So yeah, with that, we are right on track, and I will take some of, if you have any questions, I will take some of those. I want to provide you with an update. And if you have like questions or want me to look at something, and I'll give you my my 2 cents. Let's see. Love what you're doing, Straight Fact. I appreciate you. Let's see. Apparently, Doge is switching from proof of work to proof of stake with help of the talent. I heard this news from another video. Yeah, I've seen some write-ups about that today. I haven't looked into it yet, but I believe that was, if it's what I think it is, I believe that was in the works for quite some time now. But I'll verify that tonight, and I'll probably either do something separate for it, either in the morning or tomorrow, or I'll include it with my general video. So that's the bad thing about Doge. It always needs a catalyst, needs to move up organically, and like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Well, the catalyst for Doge is technically just because of retail, and for retail, you're going to mostly have to convince them first. Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's mostly institutions, so they can pump it at will just because they simply have the money. Retail is not typically going to do that unless there's a reason to make them spend the money. So, if you look at like a year ago, it was the TikTok trend in like 2020 roughly, before we got into 2021, then Elon, and then we start having all these other catalysts coming up. And that's what encouraged retail to spend money and invest in the coin. Institutions don't need encouragement. So I understand what you're saying, but it's like apples and oranges, kind of like comparing it. But yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum, most of that is held up by institutions. So that's why they seem like they have a mind of their own and stuff like that, because the market trends with them because of allocation, and that's not the only position that they hold, but the fundamentals that drive them are certainly different. So we have to kind of play to our strengths here, because the favorites in the market have already been chosen, and that is Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment. So we're going to have to play to the psychology of retail, and they're going to need a reason to invest. And typically that's, okay, well, I want to make money, but how? Is this hype, is this FOMO? So, and that typically would drive retail spending. Let's see. My favorite channel on crypto. Thanks, David. No problem. You're welcome. I appreciate you. Let's see. I feel like it's a bull trap, low volume, but prices moving up. I don't know. Seems fishy. Yeah, very well. Yeah, very well can be. It's looking like it, shaping up. I just, when we talked about this like a week ago, I just said this was going to happen just because of trend. And I know that for the most part, especially in Bitcoin and where we are now with this, these major, I guess the gray area over the market, I know that this is for the most part algorithmic trading. So I don't see them breaking that trend as far as for pretty much liquidating. That's really what they're doing here, right here. If you see the higher low in the pattern here, they're doing like the pumps to consolidate, bring in some fresh money. But right now, you don't test that 21-day moving average and have a descend 4 times consecutively, unless you're trying to get cash heavy. So they're rearranging their portfolios. Make no mistake. So this can definitely be a bull trap to bring in fresh money to see if they can increase the profits on the next descend. But yeah, the segment here is still the same. So until we break 42.44, we have nothing else to just pretty much go on, but to assume that this trend will continue. So and that's what TA for. That's why we learn how to read charts, so we can kind of get an idea. So we don't see, we don't see a bunch of green candles and like, oh my God, we need to get in now. This is it. Like, so this is why we do what we do. But you're absolutely right. Something is a little off here. So until we break those numbers, we have to assume that it's going to stay the same. Is Robinhood playing games with us still? Yeah, I think Robinhood probably is going to always play games. But yeah, they're still they are still dragging their feet. So I guess everybody will have them at some point. I don't even think there's like an actual date. So they're just slowly kind of working their way through the list. So I guess as long as they don't get any major hiccups or anything, I'm assuming you're talking about the wallets, but as long as they don't get any major hiccups or anything, I assume that they'll just keep working their way through the list. I don't even know what number I am. I was in like the first 100,000, but then I think I'm like 180 or something like that now. I don't remember, but I haven't got my wallet yet. I know that much. Let's see, did Doge one get delayed, or is this just a rumor and FUD? I haven't heard anything about the Doge one. I'll put that. That's something I'll have to check on as well, along with the proof of stake. I'll put these in my notes and I'll report. Doge one delayed. I haven't heard anything about it getting delayed, but I know that there's been some reports, some videos put out really that said that they were going to launch it around like October and stuff like that, but I have not. I haven't got concrete evidence on this. I can do a quick search here because it's actually pretty important, because I consider that the greatest marketing, really like our greatest marketing tool for 2022 is that Doge one. Like that's don't get me wrong, we're making history and other catalysts, but the Doge one, that's international, that we're going into like space. That this is one of the things that I was looking forward to as far as for removing that what do you, I guess you can call it, mean stigma. So I think that I think that it's going to, we need to kind of like plan around that, because I think that even short sellers, people that are trading, they're all going to have their strategy planned around that. So I think that the more time that we have is we need, we can use that to kind of strategize with it as well. So I'm looking here. Let's see. I'm looking on my phone, sorry. So that's why I'm looking away, but I don't see anything that is indicative of like a concrete date or anything. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. Can you explain proof of work? Yeah, proof of work is pretty much, I don't want to call it the old version, but it's pretty much like what blockchain Bitcoin runs off of. So it requires a large amount of energy, and it has to be verified by the actual miner. So they're secured and verified by like the virtual miners, but it's the biggest thing now is when it comes down, it's going to be like energy. So when you're doing like the proof of work, you're mining and you're kind of like working to solve like the puzzle first so that you can get like rewarded with the coins. So that's kind of like the, I won't say like the ancient one, but the new ones, as far as like Ethereum at 2.0, that's going to be like the switch to proof of stake. So it's going to have, I guess, like a cleaner version. It's a lot less energy. So And if you see Elon tweet about it as far as for like the amount of energy being used, and if we're going to, I guess short term it really matters because Bitcoin has a finite supply. But if you look at the amount of energy being used, and as far as for to produce these coins, or if you calculate like transactions, how clean is the actual coin? That's the biggest thing that is driving like this competition between the two. And it requires a hell of a lot more energy for the older version, which is proof of work. So that's one of the catalysts that we're using. Well, I'm not going to say we, but that's one of the catalysts that's being used to push proof of stake forward. But it's really just, I guess you're just going to say it's just the original version, lots of energy. It has to be verified on the blockchain by the virtual miners, and it's still on the system that as far as for whoever can solve like the puzzle first, and you'll get like rewarded with the coin. So that's in its simplest form. I can say that. What are your thoughts on cocktail bar? If you're aware of it, one of Matt's picks. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of a cocktail bar. I'm assuming that's another crypto. Yeah, but I'm not aware of it. I'd have to, when it comes down to any coin that I may consider investing in, it's going to have those. It's going to meet that criteria as far as for standing on its own and being like having longevity. You know, that's community, leadership, vision, utility. Like you have to cross those things off your checklist. So I'm not saying cocktail bar doesn't have that. I have to look into it. But you know, just make sure that when you are investing, that it's not gambling, and you're making sure that you are, most of your portfolio is in quality that are in coins that's going to last. So, but I don't know. I have to take a look at it. So just got 200 Doge. Let's go. Here we go. What about Doge hitting 6 cents? Yeah, Doge hitting 6 cents. That is the lowest level of support, and that is if we get like a crazy. I'm gonna say crazy, but that's if the Feds are really aggressive when it comes down to. Oh, this is Bitcoin order. It's really aggressive if it comes up to raising those interest rates, right? So that is where we can see us testing those lower levels. As of right now, we're getting strong rejections off of the 12 cents. So, and we're even consolidating above it, which is technically, to be honest with you, that's even like, because when we broke the 16 cents, I thought we would kind of hang out at around 12 cents like we were 16 cents, but we're actually hanging out above it. And when we touch 12 cents, it's like very quick, we get a rejection and we bounce back up to around like 14 cents or so. So we're actually doing slightly better than I thought as far as for this consolidation point. But 6 cents is technically our that's our before it's like pretty much a full retracement. That is our median of support. That's where our next line of actual strong support. Historically, like if we're buying in and Doge becomes oversold after it breaks the 12 cents support, for example, then we can expect some light resistance, depending on retail and how aggressive we are, around like the 8 to 10. And I believe that there's enough people in that would consider that like a golden opportunity to bring down their DCA or to just simply increase their coin count, that I think that we can actually pump the brakes at around 8 to 10. But that 6 cents is literally like that bottom level of support. And the only way I see us getting down to that level is if the Feds come out and say that they are, inflation's out of control and they're going to have to raise the rates very aggressively this year, and 6 or 7 hikes and stuff like that. And the stock markets, there's panic everywhere. It starts going through the floor. Institutions are pulling money out to rebalance, and investors, retail investors, they're also rebalancing, or they simply cannot afford to go through the cycle or bear market. So they're going to start to take profits, and that can kind of get us that lower level. But that is what's up with 6 cents. I just gave you, when I was doing the videos as far as for 12 cents and 6 cents, I always try and paint the complete picture. I don't want to, just do like positive catalysts without giving you like the bottom numbers as well. So that's why I gave you both of them. It's 12 cents 6 cents. Those are strategically chart-wise correct, but I believe we can get some resistance at between like 8 and 10 just because of Doge being oversold. But 12 cents is doing fantastic for us now, so we may even hold up there. So because we're not even consolidating at 12 cents, to be honest with you. So we're doing a lot better than I anticipated. Let's get these likes up. I appreciate you. I don't know how many I like, but yes, if you found value in anything I had to say, please like the video. I appreciate that. Kept the promise, went for 2 million Doge, slightly nervous, but needle definitely swinging towards the right direction. Oh, but the needle swinging toward the right direction. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Doge is fine. I haven't had because that's one of the things that even if you look at some of the posts that I make, and I say as far as for me painting the complete picture and looking at the macro and the micro, yeah, if something happened that was like that I thought was weird or it looked kind of like sketchy as far as like the longevity of the coin, I would make a video on it and tell you. Like that's not a big deal for me. So Doge is absolutely fine. I'm still holding my positions. I'm still optimistic about the future. And it's just that's what's going on right now in the market. It's bigger than Doge. It's bigger than Bitcoin. Like it's, we're talking about the highest inflation we've seen in 40 years. So, we're flirting with double-digit inflation. So we're talking about the entire economy here. The stock market is a major part of it, but it doesn't encompass everything. So, people typically invest with their extra money. But if we have runaway inflation and everything else is going crazy, there won't be any money to invest. So this is technically bigger. So, we're definitely headed in the right direction. I'm optimistic. Let's see, what will it take for Dogecoin not to follow Bitcoin? So it cannot follow Bitcoin for two reasons, right? The first reason could be institutions just lose interest in it, or the community is not strong enough, and they say, "Well, we're not going to invest any more money in it," because retail is not synced up with the institution's schedule, right? Like, so if the Bitcoin rises and then some of the top 10, they all start charting similar patterns and stuff like that. That's big. These big hedge funds, institutions coming in, like, okay, we got $1 billion. 20% here, 10%, 5%, 5%. They kind of allocate it like that based off of the speculation and interest, community, top 10, and things that they believe they can take profit on. So that's the main reason why we follow the coin. We cannot follow it if they just said, Dogecoin sucks, we hate it, and we're not going to follow it, and then it doesn't get a reaction. Or we have that major utility and we, start putting stress on that overall float of the coin supply, and we're able to resist some of those downturns. So because dollar-wise, it's not going to necessarily, you can get reactions, but it's not necessarily going to rise dollar-wise with Bitcoin, but you wouldn't be able to see that it's actually holding out its own trend until it starts acting more like a stable coin because of the stress and stuff that we're having on the actual float. But in my opinion, I know it sucks when the market is down, but we benefited greatly from those injections. We helped out a lot. A lot of that money was ours, but we benefited greatly last year from that institutional money as well. So if we have these major catalysts and stuff coming up, and Doge is increasing its utility, it sucks right now, but we can definitely reap the benefits on the other side of this in the bull run. So those are the two major catalysts that would sever Dogecoin's attachment to Bitcoin. But depending on how you look at it, I don't consider it all bad. Do you have an opinion on Bitcoin Cash? I don't. Dogecoin $1 very soon. Let's go. I like what you say about the amount of Doge you own. Accumulation is the key. Absolutely, yeah. That's your multiplier. That's your compound interest. I mentioned this in the e-guide I put out today. I was saying that don't be in the right position and it goes up 500x and you got 5 coins or 5 stocks. Like sometimes it's better to go deep than wide. So, and if you are screening your investments properly, you don't have to take the shotgun approach. You can isolate some winners and really increase your wealth, because the hardest part of, I'll say, investing is technically when you're starting out and building capital. Once you have enough capital, you can take a shotgun approach and start hedging and really just capitalize off of whatever moves in the market. But when you have if you're not working with that much money, you're gonna have to be more strategic. So I think that's what trips people up is they don't have a lot of money and they try and take a shotgun approach and they end up picking some real winners, but because they didn't go deep, they don't realize the gains. So you just kind of got to keep that in mind. You're absolutely right, man. That accumulation and your amount, that's a big part of it. Big part. Yeah, we're definitely in a fake eye. Absolutely. I'm out. It's a bull run. Sorry, my chat just refreshed, so let me see. Strolling back. Sorry. Let's see. 6 cents don't scare me. I just forget about it at that point. Just leave it and forget. Yeah, no, 6 cents I'd load up, man. I would load up at 6 cents. I make jokes on here all the time, but I absolutely mean it when I say I want Doge at like 6 and Bitcoin at like at $100. I just talked about going into depth about accumulation and coin count. I'll show you a coin count. I'll show you, like, if we go down to 6 cents, because I made my entries and stuff last year, but I want to really, I'll move money around this time. So that's not an issue. Let's see, I'm stuck at 30. Your DCA, if you can try and come down, we are roughly at 50%. If you watch my how to buy the dip video, it goes into details about that. We're roughly at 50% of your DCA. If this is what you're talking about, it'll be easy for you to bring that number down. So that's how you effectively bring your number down without spending an absolute fortune, because you'll know that if you're really close to your current DCA, you can buy some more coins and it won't affect it. So that'll be very effective for you to do so. Let's see. So I'm going back through the comments backwards, and they're kind of like popping up. Let's see, David, what was your biggest loss in any investment? Great question. It really just depends on, because if we're talking about like loss as far as for in the red of actual capital or potential capital, because I'm greedy, because I did that with some options last year and I lost like $7,000. It was technically like a pump and dump, and one of them was on Whiting too, not the option, but it was on pretty much I was on like a contract, and I was up like 8K, and I wanted to hit 10, and it was just me, and I know better than this. It's stupid, and I violated like some of my own principles, but I felt for sure that I can get 10, and so I was at like 9,300, still wouldn't sell, and I thought we was going to go to 10. I was like $700 more. I'm out. The coin's literally just running, and I want to say like before I could even blink, it went through like the floor. And by the time I got out, instead of like around the 8K and instead of around the 9,300, I ended up with about 3. So that was what was it? Like 6 or 7 grand. And this was like in a period of minutes. As of right now, the most I've been down in a play And one of my accounts is actually right now is an AMC. I'm down. So my E-Trade account, I'm up. My DCA is like $10. In my main Webull account, I want to say I'm down maybe like 15%. But in my new Webull account, my newest one, I started buying at the higher ranges, like $50. I got my DCA down to like $30 or so, and I'm waiting to see if we can get below, if we can hold below like 15, and I'll try and average down some more. But in that account, I'm down like 13, 14K right now. So I'm not going to count that as a loss because I haven't sold yet. I don't normally lose money in the markets, but if I do, it's more than likely in an options contract. So yeah, I don't shoot 100% at all, but yeah, if I lose money in a market, it's going to be an option. That time frame is going to kill you. But options have been good to me. You know, Apple contracts have been good to me. Tesla contracts have been good to me. And I'm looking forward to this correction here so I can kind of repeat some of last year's gains, hopefully. Let's see here. Heard something about the Doge staking in theory would not allow for 5 billion to be mined each year. Does that make sense to you? Any thoughts on this? I haven't heard that. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna this is definitely something. I'm gonna put this at the top of my list. I have not. I've got to do some research and report on that. I don't like speaking on things I'm not sure of, but I have not heard of that. And if that is the case, technically, any restriction on the amount of coins being mined, that would add, obviously, that would increase the value of the coins here because it will stop technically like the dilution that's going on. So that people could benefit greatly from that. So, but I'll have to, before I speak on that and say something that's not true, let me do my research and I will get back to that. So, but I appreciate you for bringing that question up, Frederick. Let's see. Arkansas, thanks for a super chat. It says, I got 1,300 at 12. Any thought on my position? 1,300 what? Doge? AMC? I was talking about two different things there. But if you're talking about Doge or, well, I guess either one, the first thing you need to do is ask yourself, are you happy with your coin count? And do you have your exit planned out, right? So if you say, I want to exit at this particular number, is that the amount of money that you want from this play? If not, then of course, you need to work on your coin count. Because ultimately, if you work your numbers through thoroughly, you're not going to, and you're long in the play, you're not necessarily going to be too concerned with your DCA, because what you're looking for mostly is that multiplier. You're like, okay, when this goes, we get, I guess, let's just say it goes to $1, and you say, okay, well, I want $5,000 out of this. Well, 13 and $1, that's not going to add up. So you're going to need to increase your coin count. So, just keep that in mind. I would say just kind of play it that way. It's best for, if you work your way backwards from what you want from the position, and then decide as far as for how aggressive and make your entries and stuff like that. So if you're talking about Doge, if you're talking about AMC, same thing. Make sure you know your numbers, especially in a squeeze play. So definitely make sure you know your numbers and don't get greedy. Greed gets us all. Most people that I know have suffered at the hands of greed at some point in the market. I'm no exception. Just make sure you know your numbers and treat it like it's in the Bible. So I hope that helps. And if you can, just clarify which one you were talking about, Doge or AMC or a different play, so I can weigh in a little more. Let's see. Sorry, chat's going a lot faster now, so I'm trying to keep up. Thoughts on the Dogecoin Visa card? Do you think it'll happen? I mean, I guess technically, because I've seen some of the reports and stuff like that about that, and some articles that were being put out. But for the most part, it really just depends on how it's done, right? Because we don't want to get away from like fiat and some of the disadvantages and stuff we have with the currency that we currently have, only to recreate it, right? So I know it sounds good, it makes for a great headline, but it really just depends on how it's done, right? So when we say, okay, well, technically, if we're going to brand it, it really just depends on like who it's from, who it's through. I just have like some questions, because I know that because even with the video I did the other day, I know the feds and stuff are looking into crypto, which means I know the banks will get involved with crypto. So it's just kind of like I just want to know, who is it going to be, through, who, like, where are these cards coming from? Is it going to be something you link individually, like to your like a live account? Is it necessarily like through like a specific brokerage, and who holds the assets of that brokerage? So if it's like a Robinhood or Coinbase, or if it's, are you going to have something that you can link to your own wallet? I have a lot of questions. So it can, theoretically, it can happen. I don't see why it can't. Like, we have the technology for it. My question is just how, and what are the exact functions of it? Because I have many questions when it comes to it. Let's see here. I've been learning through your knowledge, and in what sense, and 70,000 coins would make someone rich. If I'm doing calculations on that amount, in what sense, and 70,000 coins would make someone rich? 70,000 coins. Well, I mean, I don't know. It really just depends on what your definition of rich is, but I'd say 70,000 can give you a great start. Because I don't think necessarily 70,000 would make you rich, but especially if you're talking like multi-millionaire status or something like that. But 70,000 can give you a great start, and ultimately that's really what the market is about anyway. Technically, if you're long-term, either in a play or in the market, you're technically taking the gains from here, putting in your next play, putting in your next play, putting in your next play, and you're compounding, hopefully. So, I don't think it necessarily make you rich, but it can certainly give you a start, and that can be your with that amount. I think that it can just be your snowball that you start, and after you push it downhill, you start gaining like the momentum in different plays and stuff like that. But ultimately, that gets into alignment with what I said earlier. You have to decide what you want and what price points are going to be like your exit, so that way you can have the correct coin count. Coin count matters the most long term. DCAs is fine. It's fine to wait and be strategic with your entries. I do it too, but only after I'm sufficient enough in my coin count do I start being very, very strategic with the DCA and averaging down. Because especially if I'm already in a profit, like you have to, if you're saying I'm long in this play, if I got like a 5-year plan, I believe in it, you have to say, okay, don't miss out on a spread from 20 to $1 because you wanted 10 to $1, and you end up with 0, right? So the spread from 20 is still better than 0. So, if you're not happy with that, I don't necessarily say it will make you rich, but it's something that range can definitely be your start. Let's see. Let's see, please help. I currently own 34,000 Dogecoin at 18 cents. At 18, once it hits 30. Should I sell? Please help. Wait, you own 34,000 Dogecoin at 18 once it hits 30. Oh, should I sell? Okay, I get it. I mean, that's a personal question. Like, I can't, if you're happy with that profit margin, I mean, sell. Like, so I can't, give you like a set range to sell in. That's up to you to decide to take profits. You take your 34,000, you say, I don't want any more coins in this. This is the most I can do, or this is what I believe I should have allocated to this particular coin. multiply that by your exit. And if you're happy with that, then do it. Like there's not, like I'll never get on here and just tell everybody, you know, diamond hands or hold to the moon, because if we really want to get into it, if we really, really want to get down to some specifics, what's the moon? Like define the moon for me. My moon might not be your moon. Like what exactly is the moon? What is that, like is that a standard? Like what at what price is the moon? Like, right? So I can't, you know, if I start saying, yeah, this price here, you need to exit and stuff like that. Like, so do I get to define the moon for you? Like, you know, so you have to do that and, you know, run your numbers. And again, it just really comes down to you being happy with after you plan your exit and you think that, hey, we can hit this number here. You take your profit. You know, if that's your number and you have your next play in mind, by all means, like don't let anybody on Twitter or YouTube or a blog and all that kind of stuff like that try and run your portfolio, because they're not taking the risk, or they're not in there for you. We don't know how hard you have to work to get the money. Like, you know, you have to decide that for yourself. So I wish I could help to the extent that you want, but you know, it wouldn't be wise for me to do so, because my situation is not your situation. Let's see, I have 135,000 Doge with an average price of 27. Is there potential for me to make a good profit? Yeah, no, I believe that even historically, we have these runs here, and we always, so even if we break our 200-day moving average, we typically run up and we test our resistance level. So right now, our resistance level to beat is around 30, let's say 32 to 34 cents, right? That's what these two peaks here are. That's what these two peaks are. So we are here. So in order for us to establish a new trend, we're going to have to break above this, which right now is around 18 cents. But historically, when we break our 200-day moving average, that means that we're running to go test this 34 cents level. So I believe that with the catalyst and with the market expansions and stuff that we have, we're certainly going to appreciate more than 27 cents. And if you want an indicator for when we're going to make that run up into the 30s, technically speaking, as of right now, it's when we cross or come in contact with our 200-day moving average. That typically means that means at that point we've broken through. It's not like a spike from like a short-term catalyst, and the shorts haven't overwhelmed the position yet. So at 200, when we cross that 200-day moving average, we typically have enough momentum, and that's when we go test that 34 cents level. And we'll see this year. I believe we have the right catalyst in place to make that happen. And hopefully third time's the charm, because after that 34 cents resistance level, we have very light a touch point up here at around 43. And then after that, we're up almost into like the 60s. I know we hesitated on the other side as well. We had a little break even in the rocket ship. We got a rejection here, and we picked back up. So yeah, so on the way up after 200 days, after year 27, we're looking at 34, like around 44, 45, and then 59, 60. So if you want an indicator, look for that 200-day moving average. We cross that, then just kind of, if you want to make a profit around, you know, in the 30s, or if you're nervous or you want to exit, that'll be your indicator to get ready. So, but again, you do what you want. It's just, but I do believe we will appreciate more than that. Let's see, David answered my question from earlier. See below comment. Yes, proof of stake will kill mining in traditional sense. Block rewards will be earned by validators with state capital instead of miners with powerful GPU cards. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to look into that, because if that's going to even if it slows it down, I can still see that being a benefit. Not necessarily adding scarcity value, but if it's slowing the injection down, I can still see that being a benefit to, especially to us, like in times of like rallies and stuff like that. So that's actually great. I appreciate you, Frederick. Anyone think we'll see 90-cent Dogecoin this year? Yeah, I will find out. I guess the biggest thing is what we're going to have to see, start looking at around March and kind of see what kind of year we're going to have. Because the reason I started even last year and earlier this month talking about like the Feds and what was going on, because these interest rate hikes are going to play such a fundamental part in what kind of year we're going to have. So, even for how well we're going to respond to certain catalysts and things like that, these interest rates hikes, they're going to play a really big part. So I think that, we have the catalysts and stuff like that to certainly test some of these resistance levels. But the question is, what's going to be going on outside of Doge? So, but it's not on I'll say it's not on the extreme side. So, because I do believe we have a few sell-offs. So I don't think that's going to take us. We're going to get some momentum, because I believe we'll have a lot of sell-offs in the meantime. And so we'll need something, because even at around $1, I anticipate we'd have a sell-off, and people will probably start selling around 90, 95. Just because of fear, they want to take profits and stuff like that. But it just really depends on the catalyst. And if I had to pick one, I'd say it'll probably be around the Doge one. So, but I won't say it's impossible, but we really need to see what kind of year we're going to have before we start making projections just yet. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just going to refresh here because I'm a little behind. Dogecoin has the biggest names in the game, the community. Let's go. That's right. Let's see what happens when the last Bitcoin gets mined, and how long would that take? I forget. I will Google it right here. I forget the exact date. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say like 2040, 2050, something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Oh no, yeah, 2140. Yeah, it says the last Bitcoin is expected to be mined sometime around the year 2140. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, maybe our great grandkids or something. But around then, even at the prices that Bitcoin is going to now, if Bitcoin is going to have a function of utility to be as a payment, everybody's going to be trading Satoshis. Like, it's not going to be like that big of a deal where, because if we add up the Bitcoin that are lost and with the rate that they're actually being produced, I think that when that happens, the price will be astronomically more than anyway, even if it's just due to standard inflation. But I think that for whatever purpose Bitcoin is going to serve at that time, if it is a form of trade, we'll be trading some type of fractional reserve of it, probably Satoshis or maybe something even smaller than that. But 2140, I'm 100% certain I'll be dead. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at projections for that. What's the probability that the moon could drop under 10 cents? The coin? Okay. I'm not reading into that so hard. But if it's about Doge dropping under 10, I think that it would take a major blow from, I think it would have to be Fed related. So Fed related, or they start coming out and start using like the R word, that's where we're headed, or something like that. So mass panic to create that vacuum. That's what I believe it would take for us to drop below like that 10 cents level. 2040, most of us will be dead by then. That's a fact. That's a fact. I love how you said great grandkids. No, that's over 100 years from now. Like, I'm not, I'm typically optimistic, but come on. Like, I'm typically optimistic, but come on, like that's. Like, I don't care if you're in perfect health, but like this. Let's see here. Sorry. What's the typical strategy you use for taking profits? Are you looking for a certain percentage? Excellent question. Excellent question. So it really, well, with Doge, I'm long term, so I haven't necessarily taken profits or put my final window on it because I'm like long term, like 5 years. So even if we go to like $1 plus this year, um, I'm interested to see the spread of utility. That's more so what I'm interested in catalysts. But in general, for taking profits, like if I'm short, not short, but if I'm short term, uh, I'll typically do it like 20%. 20% is that's my go-to number. So there can be some other factors in there that can make me raise it, but 20% is my go-to number. If I can, I'll do a stop loss at once I'm in my range of like 2 to 5% below that. So if I'm at, let's say it's at $20, and I don't gamble with profit. So like that. So I don't try to, unless I'm like really optimistic on it, or it's just a cash grab anyway, then I'll probably be more risky. But I'll start my safety measures at around like $18, 18 to 15. So at worst, I don't care what happens. At worst, if I'm in my 20%, I'm looking to walk away. If I'm at $20, I'm looking to walk away with 15 at absolute worst. But if it tanks below 18, I'm going to still expose myself to the upside. But if I start getting that pullback, then I can start exiting at around 18. And then of course, if it's just being really bullish, I can always move that window up. But typically I have my profits in mind, and normally it is a percentage. That's typically what I go off of, because I'm trying to get caught up in dollars. It starts adding extra emotions and stuff like to it, at least for me personally. So I look at it, P&L 20% for the day, 15%, okay, I'll take my leave. I'm not, trying to push dollars and stuff like that, because even if you were on here in the example I gave earlier, that was one of the things that I used to kind of wean myself away from that. Because psychologically, if I'm in a play, even if it's like if the stock is rallying and I have a bunch of contracts and it's at like 9,700, I don't know, maybe I'm OCD, I don't know, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm only 300 away from 10,000, and now I'm just taking unnecessary risk for $300. So percentages only. Leave your Doge for the kids. Yeah, if we're talking about 2140, yeah, it's definitely going to be for the kids. Probably not even for them. Probably not even for them. For the grandkids. Let's see. I just saw one of those crypto ATMs at my local Have supermarket. They have Doge and crypto are the future. Yeah, I've seen a few that have Doge. Most of them, at least the ones around Atlanta, have they're for Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing those ATMs and stuff pop up a lot. So Doge is going to get in there. We're going to get our utility. Doge is going to. I think Doge is going to surprise everyone. I'm very optimistic for Doge's future. So I can't check on the video, but if you haven't yet, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel as well if you haven't. So let's see, we have roughly a 150 in here. So my chat's refreshing. So love this community. Glad we can ask questions and be respectful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Like my research and what I know and my plays and what I do at the market, I'm going to do them anyway. So if I create a YouTube channel and start projecting or sharing them with everyone, then that's going to, I'm going to make sure I do my best to actually interact with everyone that takes an interest in my research. Otherwise, what's the point, right? I can just keep it to myself if I'm not going to interact and do right with the information that I'm sharing. 101 likes. Okay, awesome. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Hope you're well, David. I am well. How are you? Yeah, live to watch while I eat my dinner. Yeah, we're going over. I went over the charts and stuff. Just pretty much letting everybody know the two focal points that I had for Bitcoin and for Dogecoin, both of them seem to be coming true, and we are right on track as far as for expectations. So we're shaping up to be pretty good. And the best thing I can say, not financial advice, is if you're long and you're looking to really increase coin count or exit, start stacking up some fiat, because I do believe that it's almost guaranteed that they're going to raise rates. The only question is how aggressive. So I think that we have better entries on the horizon. So I think we'll be able to capitalize off of that. Let's see what happened to Jack in the Box. I hope we didn't snub them. I haven't seen one. If you're talking about the chain, I haven't seen one of those in a while. Let's see, 106 now. There we go. 5 more likes. I appreciate it. I appreciate all 106 of you and 153 of you that are on here right now. Thank you for that. I'm going to buy some tacos if it goes up more. Let's see. I'm not so sure about Doge. What are you not sure about? What's your concern for Dogecoin? Let's see. David, did you see where the Fed chairs came out today and said that inflation wasn't as bad as expected and don't expect to raise the rates as much as originally thought? It was a Meet Kevin video. No, I haven't. I'll have to. I'll do a recap, because I was more so just focusing on finishing up the e-guide, so I haven't been submerged as far as for in the data that came out today. But if that's the case, I will. I'll definitely take a look at it. The remarks, I'll put that on my to-do list as well. I'm sorry, I dropped my pen, but I'll put that on my list to look at, and I'll include that. If it changes anything, or if I feel like it does, I'll report that as well. And inflation. And we got to keep in mind, they did this. I'm not gonna say they did this, but they kind of, when we had the downward trajectory, like in around 2018, this is before COVID and stuff like that. We had a downward trend in the market, primarily linked to the thought or the assumption that rates were going to be hiked then, and then they kind of came out and they backtracked it to kind of smooth it over, and then we kind of picked up where we left off. So. I'm not saying this is that, but I'm going to take a look at it, because they have in the past seen the negative effects that this is going to bring. So, because even if the market, we've seen the market drop 10%, 9%, some of them even 14%, based off of the thought of interest rates rising. So, and we've seen them kind of backtrack before and be like, oh, okay, well, things are not as bad. We're not going to. We're not going to do this, and the kind of market kind of picks up where it left off. Let's see. I'm going to show you on the chart here what exactly I'm talking about. You can see it's two obvious dips. It's you see the one from COVID, and then you see the one from 2018, right? So this is the COVID dip right here. This here is the, we're going to raise interest rates and cut back as far as on some of the government spending into the market, and we start going down and touch that 200-day moving average. And then they backtracked, they backpedaled a little bit, and then things went back to normal. And then we had COVID. But in any case, regardless of inflation, or they're going to have to raise the rates, this is not sustainable. This growth that we've seen, this is not natural, and it's not sustainable. So they're going to, and if they're not going to remove the money, then if the inflation gets absorbed, they're not necessarily going to move the money, then at the very least, bare minimum, we're going to not see this type of parabolic growth going forward in the market. So we're going to have to kind of again, just kind of like brace ourselves to see what the market looks like without this injection of cash. And if this has to go back and be removed from the economy, at what pace? So, in my opinion, I don't know, because just based off of what they've done in the past, I have to look at the new information. This could just be them doing, they may do 0.25% and stuff like that, and at a much slower rate, and probably even spread it out if it's not that aggressive. And hopefully that'll alleviate the market and stop us from tanking. But again, I'll look at this information and then I will report back to everyone. Hit the like button, folks. Thank you. 112, I appreciate it. Let's see, what do I think will happen when Elon Musk launches Doge 1 this year? I think it's going to be historic, and I think Doge can have a very, very strong rally. We're going to have international press. It'll be the first meme coin, quote unquote, first crypto in space. So I think that's going to set us up nicely, and start adding that credibility for the coin long wise, and hopefully open the doors for us to get some more utility. David, it's good stuff. Thank you for all your insight. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I agree the Fed eventually raises the rates, which are mostly baked in. Not making a damn decision hurts worse. That's a fact. The market was ready for the announcement, then they punted to March. That is a fact. That is and that's why I just went over with 2018. Like when the market starts maneuvering or starts doing something unfavorable, they'll start moonwalking and delaying and all this other kind of stuff like this. But the market, what we've seen is unnatural. So this can't sustain itself. I don't care what they do, how they try and ease it in there and slow it down and stuff like that. You can't prop the money up on $0.1 trillion. Pretty much 12% of $1 trillion every month for about a year, and expect to maintain that growth. So we're going to see a consolidation either way. The question is, how aggressive is it going to be? But yeah, you're absolutely right. There's no cap for Doge. I think it's a popularity coin. Price only goes up when Elon tweets, otherwise stabilize. What Doge is necessarily meant to be a currency. So it's, as far as where you have it, a cap, it's not designed to have scarcity value, right? That makes it almost improbable to use as a currency. And then if you compare it to something like Bitcoin and the transaction speed, the fees, and simply just the overall price, that makes it more impractical. Doge, if you're going to have a medium of exchange in cryptocurrency, I believe Doge is at the forefront of that conversation. It's mostly held by retail, so you'll have things like Elon tweet or a certain catalyst will give it a strong reaction compared to like a Bitcoin or Ethereum that's propped up by by institutions. But the target audience and who's necessarily is the dominant factor in the coin, that's going to affect the rises and sell-offs and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. That just means that this is more so controlled by the people. So we're going to be more subject to the people's psychology, but it's not, I don't think it's a bad thing long-term for the purpose that Dogecoin was meant to serve. Now, if you take it out of that purpose and try and apply it to something else, then then it doesn't make sense. And I think that's what a lot of people do, actually. How come most crypto follow Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the leader institutional money. So if your coin is popular enough, or they decide to spread money into certain markets, however closer your coin is to the top 10, or however popular it is that they believe that it has a large enough community that they can make profit, they will get the greatest allocation of funds into that coin. And it's typically done simultaneously with Bitcoin. So therefore, it gives the illusion that all the coins follow Bitcoin, but really that's just whales, institutions coming into the market and allocating their portfolio, because that's one of the things that you can do when you have wealth is you can, instead of betting on one position, you can kind of bet on 50, and you're sure to win at some point, and then you'll start hedging with other players to kind of save your profit when you start to take them. See, most honest chat, thanks. No, I appreciate you. Thank you. So we'll just have to wait to see what the Fed says in March. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what the entire economy is waiting on. We're waiting on the Feds to see what they say in March. Crypto winter or spike this year? It depends. It depends. We'll have to see. We'll know in March for sure. I can tell you that much. The way I understood it was instead of raising rates 4 times this year, it may be on to. The way I understood it was instead of raising rates 4 times this year, it may be on 2 raises. Oh, 2 raises. Okay, I see your next comment. Yeah, I mean they can certainly spread it out, and because that's what I was thinking. Because instead of like a half a percent, they could probably do a bunch of 1/4% and stuff like that. Because they've seen, and this is the reason why I talked about the 2018 dip about a week or so ago, because I've seen them backtrack before because they know the type of effect this is going to have on the economy, and they do not want to have these types of restrictions. So typically speaking, it's not uncommon for them to kind of backtrack. Now, if that happens, then yeah, we're going to have to. It may change everything short term, and then we'll see how the market responds to it. But yeah, that's certainly a strategy that could work. Is reducing those interest rates, reducing the frequency, or even just spreading them out longer. Let's see. Don't forget, higher interest rates help people with less than stellar credit get loans. When the banks can lend at a higher rate, more profit, they take more risk. Yeah, technically that's an adverse effect. Yeah, so you have like the higher interest rates, and you can kind of have like that. I won't say like lax, but if you're buying like a home and stuff like that, you can technically, I guess, adversely kind of increase your chances of getting there. Your interest probably through the roof, but you don't have to have like a 850 credit score. So there are some adverse effects of that as well. But yeah, that's another thing I'm interested too, to see how the housing market is going to hold up. So it's going to be an interesting year. So that's why I say if you stack your cash, despite what happens, you'll be able to make some great entries, probably in multiple industries. So love you, man. Thanks for everything. I appreciate you. Thank you. I said, how about a live stream watch party when the fans make their announcement? I can do that. Would you guys like for me to do like a watch party on the Fed's announcement? Live stream. I'll put that in my too, because even in my suggestion list that I put in the post, I have a list of suggestions and stuff, so I can put that on there. If you guys are interested, I can certainly go live and we can watch it together. Just let me know. Let me know if you want a watch party for that. Let's see. I think the Fed will launch a digital dollar, Fed coin, at some point in the near future to get in on this ride to the moon. Yeah. Yeah, I made a video about the Fed coin and them doing their investigations and all that kind of stuff like that into the market. So it's hard to. I've never seen them have a monetary, not even a policy. I've never seen them have a medium of exchange that they're not involved in the country. So far in the history of America, that has never existed. So we're going to have to see how they're going to react to crypto. And crypto's growing pretty quickly, so we're going to see. 127 likes. Okay, awesome. I appreciate all 127 of you. Thanks for everything. No problem, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Chat is always chill. Yeah. that's how I would like it. Oh God, hold on. Sorry, my chat just refreshed. I was 25.45 and got my wallet 5 days ago. Wow. Okay, so I thought they were moving much faster than that. So if you were in the top 3,000, I guess I'll have my wallet next year. How many wallets has Robinhood released today? Always seems in test phase. Yeah, I mean, the guy below, Chris, he's in top 3,000. He just got his wallet 5 days ago. I know I'm around like a quarter million. Like I'm well in the six figures when it comes down to that wallet placement. So, I'm not even going to hold my breath on that. As long as there's no funny business and my coin count stays the same, me and Robinhood won't have any problems. So if my coin count starts fluctuating, um, we're going to have some issues here, even outside of that little hiccup a few weeks ago. Let's see. I can't wait for my life. I appreciate you. Let's see. Just found out I'm not getting a wallet from Robinhood because I'm in New York. I had no idea. Wow. New York has been causing issues for a lot of people. I don't even know if there's like a workaround like with that. I didn't even know that. I thought that would have been all inclusive. If you can buy, if you can participate on the app, you should be able to participate in the wallet. So I don't know. It's actually a little weird. I don't know why they would do that, but I know New York has like their own set of rules up there. The wallets have any effect on Doge? How so? I believe that people having access to their actual coins will have a positive effect on Doge. I think that if we're going to say that Doge is going to be a currency, it needs to be fluid. Sorry. So so if Doge is going to be a currency, then it needs to be fluid. So we need access to it. I'm not saying that everybody's going to transfer out of Robinhood or start making it rain in Dogecoin, but you need to at least have the option. So that's why I made a few videos saying like free Dogecoin and stuff like that. So you need to at least have the option to spend your Dogecoin, even if you don't want to. Thank you for your hard work. I appreciate you. 144 likes. Okay. 145, really? Okay. I appreciate that. 145 with 147 people on. That's awesome. Thank you. Let's see. 145. If you use a bridge to transfer a coin to another network, do you have to transfer the coin back to its original network to exit sell the coin? If you use a bridge to transfer it to another network, I'm assuming it's like another wallet. Because if you transfer, if it's technically transferred, then you don't necessarily have to. You just have to. If you're saying you're going to transfer it to like a cold wallet or something like that, off of you don't have to transfer it back to like the original. If this is what you're saying, if I'm reading this correctly, you don't have to necessarily transfer it back. So let's say you have like a Robinhood wallet, so I'm going to transfer it out, or I'm going to put it in like my Nano. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, you can't only sell these if you transfer it back to Robinhood. That'd be the biggest scam ever. That basically means that it's not even. That's basically saying it's not even your coins. They're basically like loaning them to you. So if that's what you're saying, then no, that's not how it works. Let's see. Why? What? I'm in New York. What does that mean? No wallet from Robinhood. Not that I want to use them. Never. Yeah, he was saying that he just found out that he can't get a wallet because he's in New York. I didn't know that was the thing. So I think that if you can have the actual account and interact on the account, then I don't know why they would exclude the wallets. So what do you think about Coinbase investment insurance for $29 a month? I mean, for them, I mean, it's great cash flow. I mean, that's the point of a business, right? But I would only have unless you're trading or something like that, I wouldn't store my coins on there. I would just have what I wanted to have immediately available so that I can be liquid. But I wouldn't store my actual like account my coins on there, especially if I'm long term. There's no reason to hold. I'm not paying $29 a month. I'm just going to move my long term position off of it, which will be most of my coins. And if you screw me, then I'm just not going to use your platform anymore. So that's just my 2 cents. You have to see, kind of gauge that based off how you play the coin. But I also have to look to see what all this investment insurance covers and all this kind of crap and what waives it. So, just take that with a grain of salt. I actually have to look at the actual policy and see what it covers before I can dive really deeply into it. Let's see. It says, I'll see you on Twitter. Okay, I appreciate you. I'll be there. I said, I'll be able to buy a large fry and a Tesla before I get my wallet. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm probably like right behind. Oh, you're number 411,000? Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm that far up. So I think I'll have my wallet before you. Let's see. I know it sounds sleazy, but we are all human. Wouldn't Pornhub be a good adoption for those? you know, if Pornhub and OnlyFans and stuff like that did like an integration with Dogecoin, we probably would break trends with Bitcoin and just start our own little like you have the rest of the market going down, and Doge would be like on this solo rally to the moon. So I imagine that will add massive utility for the coin. I imagine it will be a great adoption. Let's see, Robin Hood seems like a Ponzi. That's all of them. That's about to collapse. Yeah, yeah. Robin Hood can. I believe that they're going to do. They can save themselves, but they're really going to have to. Maybe that's one of the reasons that they're doing, being slowly with these wallets, is making sure that they have the coins to kind of be sustained. If they kind of let in like 10,000 people at one time, and they all were like, we're going to transfer out of Robinhood, that could potentially cause some issues for them. So that's probably why they're going really, really slow, to make sure they can kind of mitigate that from happening. Let's see, David. How do we buy baby Lambo? Again, you're hilarious. Just go with the steps that we went over as far as for longevity. There's a difference between gambling and investing. But if you have a large following, I imagine you can, you can pump anything. Let's see. Let's take a look at Doge. You said Doge 200-day moving average. Let's see. Why is it like that? There we go. 200-day moving average is around 22 cents right now. Oh, hold on. What did you say? He said, what's Doge's 200-day moving average? It's around 22 cents right now. So if we touch that 22 cents moving average, if we're able to break above that right now, we should be historically, we should be running to test that 34 cents line. So I think that we can expect that, but as we consolidate at these lower prices, then the moving average is moving down, obviously, with us. But right now it is 22 cents, and that basically means if we touch it historically, we can expect another 10 cents. But we see how strong the shorts came in last time. So that's something we're also going to have to keep our eyes on. Let's see. Those $1 didn't happen in 2021, but 2022 is inevitable. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think we have because the catalysts we have this year are huge, especially ones compared to last year. So I'm very optimistic about this year. So I'm not worried. And if I were to get worried, I let you guys know that I'm worried. So people will be like, "Oh my God," because I guess now if you post something truthful or something like that online, it's considered FUD. And because I had a bunch of people upset that I made the Fed video, and they're like, "Oh, it's FUD." I'm like, "How? You can verify this? Like it's wild out here. Like the this explosion in crypto has created a very interesting environment. So we're going to see going forward. Let's see. I'm lagging behind. Got to the chat a few minutes late, but a workaround for Robinhood Wallet is to use a VPN. Oh, you're talking for the guy in New York? Yeah, for New York wallets. Yeah, I've never used one, but I've heard that works. But I can't. I don't like speaking on things I don't know much about. I've never used one. 161 likes for you. There we go. I appreciate all 161 of you. I appreciate you for that. Let's see. Travis already tried that. They want utility bill in my name coming from the other state. Oh yeah, New York's getting smart. New York is getting smart. Let's see. Doge Diamond Hands watched you for a few months now. You've been on point. Appreciate your candor. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Remember when Elon said dojo for Doge? Do you think there's some substance to that? Well, sure. I mean, it could be. He's made good on, even though he necessarily didn't specifically make any promises around that, but he's typically made good on anything he said he was going to do or integrate or the things that he promotes. So there could be. Let's see. I'm glad it's been holding around 14 for the length of time it has. That's a good sign for the coin. Yeah, no, it's doing great, and I really like the fact that it's consolidating technically 2 cents above its resistance point. So I like that a lot, actually, because I really thought that we were going to hang out around 12 cents, and we actually bounced strongly both times. Let's see, my exit point would be $2 at 90,000 coin. Dogecoin for me. Okay, so yeah, not 180K. Yeah, so as long as you know your numbers, that's what counts. That's what counts. I'm keeping my Robinhood wallet. I will give them a second chance. I have high hopes Robinhood will redeem itself and promote Doge and its community. Yeah, a lot of people are going to keep Robinhood wallets. I did a poll, and it was like a 70-30 split for the people that were going to stay on Robinhood. So 70 in Robinhood's favor. So it just really just depends as far as for your liking, and Robinhood, when it comes down to simplicity, they're unbeatable. Like no, I've used many brokerage apps. I've yet to use one that's more simple than Robinhood. So they have that's what you call a competitive advantage, right? So when you have that type of advantage, you'll develop a loyal fan base. So, but what Robinhood is doing now is they are making a lot of people angry. So, hopefully they are able to kind of soothe that and get everything together. Let's see here. I have everyone on here because I know most of you follow me because of like my crypto and like my crypto videos and stuff like that. So I did want to give everyone just the opportunity to, because today I published we ended up, I'm gonna say we, but it was around the same time that I released it. We ended up crashing the site that I used to and I was using it to give away the book. But I did create a free e-guide that with my pretty much like my 5-step approach, the 5 laws that I use to approach crypto. So a lot of the questions and stuff that you guys have in there, I incorporated in there with some links to some videos that gives you in-depth information on that. So I believe the site is back up now. I have it in the community section. I'll post it in the comment section. It's absolutely free. If you wanted to donate, you can, but it's not a requirement. So, it has the guide in there and it has links to videos in there as well. So I do believe that it will be useful. So I'll place that in the chat for you guys. Let's see, I'll take some more of these. What's up with Dogecoin Mars coin? I have to take a look into it. It's one of the ones that I have for that can be a cash grab for this year. So not something that I'm long on, but I still have Dogecoin Mars as a cash grab that can be, especially if the Fed's kind of moonwalking on these what do you call it? These Fed interest rate hikes, then we can certainly kind of like resume. So we could definitely have a pump on that. But I'll have to look at it more closely before I give my 2 cents on there. I could say, let's see. But I know TradingView doesn't have it, so that's why I'm doing it on here. Yeah, I mean, it's not doing anything abnormal. That's what happens when, technically it had some support here in this level. So it's pretty much just breaking through because I don't believe it has the community big enough to create the floors that it would normally have. So that's why it always, when you have coins like this, and that's why I say it's a cash grab, because when something goes wrong in the economy, it can threaten a full retracement. So, that's what it looks like. It's breaking that support and breaking down to the next level, which is, what is that? 5023. But, it did get a bounce. And so maybe it can trend sideways from here and go forward. But, when we have things in the market that are bigger than the market, that's why you typically don't allocate heavily into your cash grab positions, because they get hit really hard. And, I know we talked about it, but depending on the coins and stuff like that, it's possible afterwards, if you are over these coins, it can not exist afterwards. So just kind of got to keep that in mind. And so what's good about Robinhood? Why does anybody want to use them after the GameStop thing, or seemingly off other times they seem to have purposely shut down trading runs? That just seems shady to me. I think that most people use Robinhood just because of its simplicity. I started out on Robinhood. I think most people have started out on Robinhood just because it's depending on what kind of investor you are, it offers you the basics that you need without overcomplicating things. It's only after that I evolved and I started tracking, order flow, MACD, and all this other kind of stuff, that I wanted to start comparing other things immediately in the app, that Robinhood no longer served me. But depending on what kind of investor you are, Robinhood can be technically all you need. So I'm just one that does more research, but I do believe most people don't. So they'll typically, do their research, via like articles or like YouTube and stuff like that, and they'll make their decision as far as if they're going to hold that position. I'll chart like you see here on the computer with you guys. I'll chart here, and I also chart real time in the app. And Robinhood just can't do that for me. But for most people, again, it can be everything that they need. So, and it's simple enough that it won't confuse them. So I think that they kind of carve their target audience out of the masses. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. When is the best time to buy some more Dogecoin? Um, I'd look at because technically now this looks like this is where we're going to consolidate, and it looks like we're only touching that 12 cents when there's massive um, like negative pressure or sell off. So, it's looking like anything that's from where we are now down is great, especially if your DCA is higher. Like if you're making an entry now, this is certainly a great entry. But if you're looking at DCA, I wouldn't try and time it because we're bouncing off of our first level of resistance, which is 12, and we're getting strong rejections off of it very quickly. So I wouldn't even try and time it. So, you can say as close as you can get maybe to 12, but because of how strong we're getting rejections off of it, I wouldn't even try and time it. It would just kind of be like, okay, well, this is, good enough. So, if you're looking at increased coin count, I wouldn't even try and time it. If not, if you wish to time it, I'd say wait until we kind of get closer to some of these dates that, we're expecting some information from the feds and stuff. Let's see, Robinhood is what I started on and would have left earlier, but capital gains. Splat doesn't accept my main account. I understand. That's why I posted my first entry into Dogecoin the other week. I was like, I'm gonna pass that 1 year mark. Taxes coming down. Doge is going to blow everyone's mind and create lots of regret for people selling too soon. Yeah, I think Doge has already done that in several areas, but yeah, you're right. I think that it's going to change a lot of people's perspective for sure. 175 likes. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. I appreciate that. I don't think I've ever. This is the closest I've got to like two. I don't think I've never gotten 200. I don't know. I have to check. I don't know if I've ever got 200 while I was live, but that is incredible. So I appreciate all 175 of you. Obviously, some of you aren't online anymore, but I appreciate those that were here and left. They checked in. 181. I appreciate all 181 of you. Thank you. Let's see. In it for the long haul. Anytime is a good time to buy. Yeah, coin count is your compound interest. It is your multiplier. So yeah, so if you're in something 5 years, like again, that is the right attitude to have. Like, and you can take it away from Apple, not Apple. You can take it away from Dogecoin and compare it to anything. Like, would you rather say you had Apple at $100 and it goes to 180, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I wanted it to go to 80 before I bought it, and now you have 0. That 100 spread is better. Like, it's your multiplier. So you're absolutely right. Like, that's one of the things that once I do my analysis and decide I'm going to invest, I'm going deep. Like, and I have my multiplier. That way, if it hits this number, I know percentage wise, or the amount of cash and stuff that I'm going to have at that number. So I'm happy with it. So deep versus wide, and I talk about that in the e-guide too. So that's certainly something. If you need something tangible or don't feel like skipping to an hour and 33 minutes of this video, I have it on the e-guide so that you can reference it as well. What is how much money would I need to bring it down to 14? I'm at 25. I have a calculator. So in my video, how to buy the dip, it's on my page. It says if you're new to Dogecoin, start here. In the description, there should be a link to a calculator, because the only way to do that is you have to do the math, and you have to figure out how many coins you actually have at 25 and compare it to the coins that you're actually willing to invest now. And then it does the calculation to see what that would do for your average. So it's not something I can do right off my head, especially without more information. But on that calculator, it's literally like a DCA calculator. You put in how many coins you have at 0.25, how many coins you're willing to invest now in the current price, and it will literally spit out a current average of that. So, and it gives you, you can put in like multiple DCAs and stuff like that too if you want to kind of like if you want to fact check your broker to make sure your DCA is kind of on point. You can do that there too. You can put like 8 different entries in there. So it's really a useful tool. Once again, thank you. I downloaded your free guide. Awesome. I appreciate you. I hope you find value in it. And it'll be certainly more convenient than flipping through the videos. So I appreciate you for finding value in the guide. I love Doge, but I also believe in SHIB. Am I wrong for that? I want both to succeed. No, I'm never going to be, you just have to kind of understand what the actual plays are. But, I'll never be like, oh, you're wrong, or you need to choose a side and stuff like that. That's not my place to tell you. But, just kind of keep in mind that SHIB is going to have to develop some of those catalysts and stuff like that on its own. So, which I think they've kind of realized that. And so they're kind of like building for that, because last year it was a lot of whatever Dogecoin is doing, we're going to do. Wherever it goes, we're going to go. So if it's going to AMC, you need to accept SHIB as well. Elon supports Dogecoin. Oh, he also supports SHIB. Elon, SHIB's going to the moon too. Doge is on Robinhood. She was going to be on Robinhood too. Like, so you have to, as long as you are, and make sure you're in tune with the community and involved in making sure that they're making those steps to create that competitive advantage for themselves, then, by all means, but you just kind of got to keep your eye on that and make sure it checks off the list. And again, I have a guide and it goes over all the steps that a coin needs to check off for longevity purposes, and that's fine. If it's a cash grab, that's fine, but you need to appropriately identify your long-term from your cash grab and not just all have your entire portfolio and be like, oh, well, they're all the same, because they're not. You have to, all your coins, all your stocks are not going to be the same. You can have them in the same portfolio, but identify them. So do you spend Doge anywhere? I buy stuff at the local vape shop. Only at the Tesla. I'll buy, because even with the Tesla, like belt buckle, I'll do that. The movie theater, I'll do that. I'll probably do that more. I was thinking I'll definitely do that like a lot more often. So, it depends on where it's at, but I'll make sure that, because I have to, if I'm saying that utility and stuff like that, I have to make sure that I am participating in it. Otherwise, that makes me a hypocrite. So, but AMC, I'm invested in AMC. I have a lot of money in AMC, and I'm also in Dogecoin, so I can support both of my investments at one time. So that's a win-win. So yeah, I'll definitely be spending for Dogecoin. I'm waiting on that as well, and I think we can expect that in March, if I'm not mistaken. As Warren said, if you believe in the project, support it when you can. Trying to buy at the lowest point can cause you to miss the boat. Facts. Do you have a Discord? I do. It's in the, should be in the description section. Should say like free Discord or something like that. So you just have to verify, because I don't have time to play with bots and stuff like that. But yeah, I have a free Discord. It's like a week or two old now, as a matter of fact. Is there somewhere I can reach you personally? My email is in the about section. So if you go to my page and you go to like about channel, it'll say about at the tabs, and it'll click like contact or something like that. It'll have my email address in there. She was created to stay under 0.1 for a really long time. Facts. When is the next Dogecoin halving so I can double my coin count? I wish I could pinpoint it accurately like that. If I could, we'd be all set, but I cannot. I'm sorry. I hope Robinhood gets something positive figured out. Not only is all of my Doge there, but I have 50 shares when the IPO came out. It's not pretty for them right now. Yeah, Robinhood they're catching hell right now, but Yeah, I think they're going to have the wallets and stuff figured out. I think it's just a slow process. I think they're being really careful because they don't want, um, you don't want any hiccups. You know, that's how you get screwed. Let's see. The other meme coins like She, Baby Doge, Floki are the reason Doge is not mooning. Stop supporting other meme coins if you really want Doge to moon. Yeah, I did a talk on that a while ago, and I do believe that when the market expanded, people got shiny object syndrome, and the funds literally dispersed. And now, instead of the strong momentum and stuff that you had around Dogecoin, all the money is spread out, so it's a lot more thinner. So everybody's chasing this and chasing this, and then and this month is baby, it's baby Lambo this month, and next month is baby Toyota, and so it's just people are chasing these different things, and it makes the money a lot thinner. It's this whole thing as far as saying, you're stronger, together. But it happens in the market. The market expands, and long term, you'll see who survives the test of time. 194. There we go. I appreciate it. So we need 6 more to 200. That's incredible. I think we're gonna break a record tonight in record time too. Let's see. Yes, the other green coins were created to suppress the price of Doge, and hedges can short the hell out of it. Yeah, definitely some shorting going on. That's for sure. Let's see. Where did you say that calculator is that you have? The calculator is on. If you go to my homepage, you should see if you're new to Dogecoin, start here, and it should be a video saying like how to buy the dip or something. How to buy the dip, I believe is the title, and it should be in the description section. 201, there we go. 201 likes while I'm still alive. Crazy. There we go. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. I'm at 142. So I'll do 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to wrap up and get ready for the videos tomorrow, because I'm going to do a bunch of video. 202. Here we go. I'm going to organize the videos a little better. So I'm going to have some videos coming out this week, and I think the organization and stuff like that will kind of like help, and it'll also be very direct so that you're able to get to the information quickly. So I think that'll be beneficial. But I definitely appreciate like all of you guys, especially 134. I don't know if you've been on here the whole time or not, but I appreciate all of you. 207, there we go, shooting up. Just like the vid, I appreciate you, K-Max. But if you appreciate my approach to investing or the crypto market, that was the reason I create like this consolidation, because there's a lot of like BS and stuff like that like floating around, and so I just wanted to put something that can really like stand the test of time, and that I believe are like irrefutable laws. So that's why I made the guide, and that's why I made it free. So I didn't want to exclude it from anyone. So I wanted to make sure that everyone had it, and that way it's not something that you have to search through a video for. It's something condensed and that you can kind of go over and make sure that you're evaluating your investments after you're in them, and currently while you're in there. So I think that benefits people greatly. 210, I appreciate it. Yeah, but I have the link. It's in the community section. It's in the start section, and I named it Disruption after the group. So again, it's free. Go download it. You can donate if you like, but I think it will absolutely bless your investment journey. So with that, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Like the videos. We do this every day. All facts, no FUD, no fiction. Just giving you both perspectives of the market. So we're going to make sure that we all become well-rounded investors and capitalize off of today. I mean, off of this year. David, I went back and looked, but the video from Kevin was the market opening video this morning. I didn't watch any of his later day videos today. I was busy on other stuff. Yeah, that's fine. I'll verify that with the stuff on the Fed site as well. So yeah, I'll do my research, I promise, and I will, if I see something alarming or noteworthy, I will report on it. I can certainly do that. But with that being said, I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you too, Fred. I appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow. We'll meet back here. I don't know if we'll be live or not. If not, I'll just premiere and we can talk in the chat. But I'll speak with all of you tomorrow. So have a good night.